Have you ever felt invisible, even when you're standing right next to someone? Like, no matter how much effort you put into showing up, into being present, it just isn't noticed. Maybe you've tried to be charming, kind, attentive, but somehow it feels like it's never enough. And the truth is, it's not about you. It's about understanding the invisible rules of attraction, the unspoken language that draws people in, not manipulation, not games, but the kind of presence that resonates deeply with a woman's heart. Tonight, I want to reveal 3 secrets that men intuitively or consciously know, secrets that create attraction on a level beyond looks, beyond money, beyond superficial charm. Secrets that ignite interest, connection, and deep admiration. Think about the last time you felt drawn to someone without even knowing why. Maybe it was a man at work, a friend, or even someone you saw briefly in a cafe. There was something about him that made you lean in, pay attention, maybe even imagine what it would be like if he were a part of your life. But if you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever noticed how many attempts at connection fall flat, you know how confusing it can be. You wonder if it's something you did wrong, if your energy is too strong or too weak, if you're just not the right type. Or maybe you've noticed women gravitating toward men who seem effortless, who don't chase, who aren't desperate for attention. Those men have a certain aura, a presence. And if you've ever felt that pull, that magnetic attention being given to someone else, it stings. It makes you question yourself. It makes you feel like maybe there's some secret you're missing. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover tonight. The first secret is deceptively simple. Confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about self-possession. Let me paint a picture. Imagine a man sitting in a crowded room. He doesn't have to announce his presence. He doesn't need to dominate the conversation or show off. He's quietly assured, rooted in who he is, comfortable in his own skin. Women notice this. Psychologically, confidence signals stability, competence, and safety. The human brain is wired to pick up on subtle cues: posture, tone of voice, the way someone interacts with the world. Confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, deliberate, and consistent. And here's the practical takeaway. Build confidence by knowing your boundaries, standing by your values, and taking care of your mental and emotional state. Confidence grows when you act in alignment with your beliefs, not when you seek validation from others. The second secret is even more powerful. Emotional intelligence beats charm every single time. You might know a man who seems naturally attractive, but then there's one who listens, not just hears, but truly listens. He senses moods, picks up on unspoken cues, understands when to push and when to pause. Imagine a woman telling a story about her day. Some men nod politely, waiting for their turn to speak. But the emotionally intelligent man responds with understanding, reflects feelings, and validates experiences. Psychologists call this empathic attunement. Women are biologically wired to respond to emotional attunement because it signals trust, safety, and genuine care. The solution? Practice listening, not responding. Mirror emotions, validate experiences, and cultivate awareness of nonverbal cues. This creates a magnetic pull that no superficial charm can replicate. The third secret is profound, yet often overlooked. Purpose and passion are irresistible. Picture a man walking down the street, not distracted by his phone, not anxious about impressions, but moving with intention. He has goals, dreams, projects that excite him. Women notice purpose. It signals direction, stability, and the ability to provide not just materially, but emotionally and intellectually. From a psychological standpoint, purpose triggers admiration because it represents competence and self-sufficiency. It's not about arrogance or ego, it's about living a life that matters. And here's the practical step. Invest in your goals, nurture your interests, and let your enthusiasm for life be visible. Passion is contagious. When you light your own fire, others feel the warmth. Now, let me tell you something crucial. None of these secrets are about manipulation. They're about becoming the best version of yourself, aligned, aware, and present. Because attraction isn't a trick or a game. It's a reflection of energy. And women are incredibly sensitive to subtle energies: the consistency of your confidence, the depth of your emotional intelligence, the clarity of your purpose. When these 3 align, attraction becomes natural, almost inevitable. I know it's easy to feel discouraged, especially if you've tried so many ways to connect and felt ignored, unseen, or unappreciated. Maybe you've wondered why it seems like certain men effortlessly capture attention while you struggle. The first step to changing this isn't learning pickup lines, it's understanding your own worth, your own presence, and cultivating authenticity. Women are drawn not to perfection, but to depth, to integrity, to alignment between words, actions, and energy. Think about your own experiences. Who have you been drawn to? Chances are, it wasn't the guy with the flashiest car or the most expensive clothes. It was the one who owned his confidence without arrogance, who listened without judgment, who pursued his passions with visible purpose. These three elements create a magnetic field that resonates on a subconscious level. Here's the truth: attraction is as much about who you are when no one is watching as it is about what you show to the world. It's about integrity, consistency, and energy alignment. Women notice, remember, and are naturally drawn to these qualities. And when you cultivate them intentionally, you don't need to chase or convince. You become magnetic. Let's recap the 3 secrets that create lasting attraction. First, confidence rooted in self-possession, not ego. Second, emotional intelligence that fosters understanding and trust. And third, purpose and passion that signal direction and fulfillment. When these 3 combine, you're no longer just someone who is noticed, you become someone who is remembered, respected, and deeply admired. Remember, this isn't about trying to impress. It's about being fully aligned with who you are. Your confidence, emotional depth, and purpose are tools of magnetic attraction because they signal authenticity, stability, and integrity. No superficial charm can compete with that. So, if you've ever felt invisible, overlooked, or frustrated in connection, take this as your roadmap. Build yourself up. Strengthen your confidence. Sharpen your emotional awareness. Pursue passions that ignite your spirit. When you do, the right people, the right women will naturally gravitate toward you. Drawn not by gimmicks, but by the energy of a man who knows himself and lives fully. Here's the emotional truth to leave you with. Women are drawn to men who are self-possessed, emotionally intelligent, and purposeful, not because they try to manipulate attraction, but because they embody a life worth noticing. If you cultivate these qualities, you won't just attract attention, you'll attract connection, respect, and admiration that lasts. If you found value in this video, if it gave you clarity on attraction and connection, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more content that empowers, inspires, and transforms lives. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in yourself and your growth.